What is up, my friends? So let's talk about 365 Days. This is a movie that has been getting a ton, and I mean a ton of press, backlash, praise, and I mean, it's a movie that is going to cause controversy, and I think many people knew it was going to cause controversy. And like a lot of people said, any publicity is good publicity. So this movie's getting that, and I'm pretty sure we're going to be getting a sequel to it because it's a trilogy of books. I am here to talk about book number 2 and book number 3, which could potentially spoil the sequel or sequels that this movie's going to be getting. So if you don't want spoilers, don't listen ahead. Go and read the books if you want, if you can find them. But I'm going to be talking spoilers. I just don't want anybody in the comments to be angry because they say I spoiled potential movies. But these are books, they're out there, the information's there, so I don't know if I'm really spoiling it. Anyways, I already did the ending explained for the first movie, and you can go check that video out right now in the card above. But as I told you in that ending explained, your girl Laura, she ain't dead. What ends up happening is she's kidnapped by a different gang, and this gang could probably be the same gang that we see Massimo's father be killed by, and the same gang that Massimo had to deal with during the movie. And what ends up happening is, yeah, it's crazy. Laura gets kidnapped twice, so I'm pretty sure she's just like, here we go again. Well, what ends up happening, as we know, they were pretty much destined to get married, and they were expecting their first child, and all of this, and all seemed happy now. And she had accepted her new life with Massimo and all of that. But, I mean, but the other gang was like, nah, we getting you back right now. So she ends up getting kidnapped by a different gang, and there is where she sees Nacho. Nacho is pretty much a new man that is pretty much the new kidnapper. His name is actually Marcelo Matos, and he is there to pretty much become the third wheel, or really complete the love triangle that there's going to be going on for this second and third book. While all of this is happening as well, we see Massimo's twin brother Adriano come, and Adriano is pretty much Massimo, but if he was British, and that's because he was studying and living in Britain. So it'll be interesting to see both of them there, and it could be some Parent Trap type bullshit, right? Anyways, this second film will probably deal with that kidnapping and Nacho being introduced, as well as Adriano. And Nacho and Massimo will have pretty much a head to head, and what ends up happening is that Laura ends up on the bad receiving end of it all as she gets gravely injured, which causes her life and her baby's life to be pretty much up in the air. Massimo has to make a choice, and that choice is to save Laura or to save the baby, and he ends up choosing Laura. Of course, Laura does not find out about this, and what happens is she pretty much tries to go towards alcohol to suppress everything that has happened after she believes her baby was lost naturally. And Massimo pretty much goes into his own corner as well, and he starts to slowly fall to drugs as well. So it gets pretty darker than it already is, because I mean, the first movie had a pretty dark sense to it, and this movie, well, its sequels, I think, will pretty much amp that up even more. She ends up getting a dog from Massimo to help her with everything that's going on, which she names Prada. But what ends up happening is that Laura is still getting attracted towards Nacho after everything that has happened, and Laura ends up leaving Massimo to go be with Nacho. Of course, Massimo, we know what kind of character he is, doesn't take this lightly, and Laura ends up receiving a package from Massimo that has the dead dog. They end up seeing each other again when he's with a new girl, and she's pretty much jealous and tries to confront him. Massimo's like, I didn't even send you that dog. It's all been Nacho who's been playing and toying with you. And she believes this. She goes back to him, and then she comes to find out that no, he's actually been lying about all of this, and he's trying to get me trapped again so I can't leave. And she finally ends up escaping and lives with Nacho. They get married, she gets pregnant, done deal, right? So it got pretty interesting, right? It got pretty crazy, pretty dark, pretty quick, and I think that's just the way that this type of story was gonna go when you start off your romance as being a kidnapper with your kidnappee. So, I mean, it's just the way it is, right? I think that could definitely be a sequel altogether. These last two books, I don't think that they would stretch it out into two different movies. I think it would be just one more movie because they have a build-up of hype that's so strong. Because, as I said, or maybe I didn't say here in this video, but this movie is trending on Netflix. It's even trending on Twitter, and it's gaining huge popularity throughout social media. People discussing it, whether it's discussing it in a negative matter, in a positive matter, or just a neutral matter as an outsider. It's getting that word of mouth out there, and it's getting viewed on Netflix so many times. Let me tell you, I've been seeing this trending on Twitter for the past 12 hours, and I don't see it going away, especially after this weekend. I could see it ramping up even more this week. More people interested in seeing what is all this fuss about this movie and why are people keep talking about it. So, anyways, what are your thoughts on the movie and its backlash that it's been getting? I will be doing a video talking about that backlash itself coming this week. Probably on Tuesday I'll drop it because I had to re-upload this video twice for my ending explained, and I've gotten a lot of comments on there, people defending the movie, people trashing the movie, and I just want to go ahead and look at all those comments, and I'm going to talk about it as well as things I've seen online, whether it be from Twitter, Facebook, all of that. I will be discussing all the issues, and I just want to know what everybody thinks. So if you want to see that video and give your own input and just discuss it on there with everybody else, make sure you subscribe, turn on that notification bell right now so you know when that video drops. But I'd like to know your opinion as well on this video, if you want to see a sequel or not, or do you think that this movie was not deserving of that and it just needs to go away? Let me know below. But anyways, also, what are your thoughts on the sequels itself? Do you think that the story is worth telling more, or do you think they should leave it as it is? I mean, the way they ended the movie, you know they don't want to leave it as it is, because that is a huge cliffhanger that they know people want answers for, so we're just going to have to wait and see what happens with that. Anyways, let me know your thoughts on that, and make sure you subscribe. I have some videos coming this week as well on Dark, which is Netflix's latest big hit, I think, in the making, which is coming out on its third season this Friday. I will be making a video on that. I also just did a video on the latest European Netflix release this past weekend, and that was Curon. That video will be coming out tomorrow, so make sure you check that video out as well. And anyways, just a quick video on what I think a possible sequel of theirs would be. Well, it is not a possible sequel. It's a sequel that's going to happen. But I just think that they will be taking the sequel and the threequel book and putting them together to make one solid movie. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on that plot for that second book and that third book. And what do you think about it? And do you want to see that be adapted to the live action, well, adaptation, I guess you could say, right? And also, will this be the next big thing? Because I don't know. It's sort of like it's been getting more backlash than 50 Shades of Grey has. And I see where the people are coming from. So I am curious to see if the backlash will continue. If they were to announce a sequel of sorts, I'm pretty sure it would get even bigger press. And that would mean bigger exposure. So would that mean, yes, let's release it? I don't know. It's going to be interesting. So anyways, are you tired of hearing about 365 days? Or do you think it needs more praise and more eyeballs on it? I don't know. You let me know below. But as always, make sure you subscribe to my channel if you want more things on the things you love about pop culture, from movies, TV shows, video games, music, all that good stuff. Also follow me on Twitter for more updates. I will be trying to be more active on there, as well as on Anchor for my podcast, where I upload all of these videos in audio format so you can take them on the go if you just want to listen, as well as my gaming channel on Twitch, where I just play video games every now and then, and we'll be doing some new stuff there pretty soon. So keep an eye on that. And as always, we are so close to that 15,000 subscriber mark, which I would love if we can get to this week. We are less than 500 subscribers away, so super close to touching that milestone. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you share, comment, like, all that good stuff. Turn on the bell for notifications so you know when a video comes up and you don't miss it. But that's going to do it for me. As always, I do hope that all of you are doing safe and stay positive. If you're still listening, why don't you go ahead and check out one of those videos on the left right there. And don't forget to subscribe. And as always, stay positive.